So, favourite characters and moral contest champions. That is the topic of today because I wanted to do this video for a while, and I thought since I have now given a load of money to Logan Paul's wedding by drinking Prime and gaining quite a few number of subs from that, thank you very much. I hope you stick around. I thought let's do a favourite champions in Marvel Contest Champions. Just a fun little video. Share your thoughts down in the comments if you play this game. And I'm going to give a champion from each class. It is my favourite champion of that class at this moment in time. And I thought I could talk about why I love them so much. So let's start off with the science class, because that's the first one I picked, because it's the first one in my little class section there. It is Titania. I love, like, Immortal Abomination, like Spidey Pig. I love those ones, but Titania, I love her. She is why I am Paragon, because she was the last one I needed to take to rank 4 to get the Paragon title. And she's a great problem solver, I have to say. She is a great nuke character as well when you get to that level 3, which I will admit does take some time, especially in Battlegrounds, but it is worth it because you get those big red numbers off. You get big red numbers when you dash into the opponent once you've thrown that special 3. As the more debuffs that the opponent has, and you do heavy attacks when she's got the haymakers active, the more damage she does, which is great. She's buff immune, which helps with some nodes, but those haymakers, which contain unstoppable, unblockable, and indestructible, which are like some of the best buffs in the game, and they're all passives. They have saved my bacon quite a lot. If you time it well, the opponent's closest special 3, you've got a haymaker like 2 seconds. That's coming back. You throw a combo, you're gonna get that haymaker. If you're lucky, the opponent will throw their special 3. Still got that indestructible up, no damage. And if they're not dead after that special 3, you dash in, you do some heavy attacks. If they're not dead by then, they're going to be dead soon. But yeah, she's got great nuke potential. She's a great safety net. I do think she deals with quite a bit in this game. And I know when she came out with infamous Iron Man, I think she went a bit under the radar a little bit, because everyone was just like, infamous Iron Man, oh my god, it's like Iron Man and Doctor Doom, and he's got the highest prestige in the game. And I think Titania got slept on a little bit, I'm going to be honest. And when I got her, when I was going for Doctor Doom, infamous Iron Man, I think she was the better champion of that month. And well, she's at rank 4, which I think speaks volumes about how much I love her. She's great. Next up is skill, which is going to be Valkyrie. I love my Kingpin. I have grown quite a fondness for Shang-Chi after the Victory Track meta of Season 9, which has just gone. But yeah, look, Valkyrie is a more balanced Quake, is how I would put it, because Quake, for those of you who don't play this game, I'd argue if she was at a 6-star level, she's locked at a 5-star. If she was attainable as a 6-star, she'd be up there with Hercules as the best champion in the game, I'd argue, because all you have to do is hold down the heavy attack button for her to charge up her aftershock charges, and then they place a concussion on the opponent, which lowers their ability accuracy. You just do that and you win. But Valkyrie, I feel, is a little bit more. Valkyrie's a more balanced version, as yes, Valkyrie can deal with a lot, but there's also some stuff that she can't do, like when with. Anyway, I won't get into it all, but Valkyrie is. You'll see it when I was a little bit skeptical of pulling Valkyrie when I was going for Gore. But when I was disappointed when I got Valkyrie a little bit. I knew she was good, but I was just like, it's going to be a big investment for me to get her all the way to Sig 200. But I put that investment in. She's Sig 200. She's rank 4, and I love her. It's one of the best decisions I've ever made in this game. Why is she so good? When her signature abilities at 200, which is the max for a 6-star. When she has 1 pierce buff, she ignores unstoppable, and when she gets a 1 bulwark buff, she is stun immune, which is better than Nick Fury because you have to get rid of Fury's. You have to get to Nick Fury's second life to get the stun immunity. So that's great. The unstoppable counter, she's best unstoppable counter in the game. You have to hit the opponent 11 times, and then therefore more. They put unstoppable. You can just hit them as normal. You're hitting but the main reason Valkyrie's good is not just because of that adds great utility to her. But with Valkyrie, the main source of her damage is hitting the opponent when they're blocking. You hit the opponent through their block. That's where she deals the most damage, which is great for Alliance War with the hazard shift node, because when in the hazard shift, the way it's worded is that it says when you strike the opponent, you get a damaging debuff on you. But with Valkyrie, you hit the block, you don't get that damaging debuff, which makes her so good for that node. And also the special 2, you hit that, you throw that when they're blocking. That is big damage, and when you get 3 pierce buffs, you get instant bleeds. So she's pretty good. But the intimidate on the special 3 and on the heavy attack is good. One caveat with the heavy attack is that it turns all of the permanent buffs into expiring passive buffs if you throw that heavy attack. So bit of word of warning there, I think. Yeah, it consumes all of the buffs, and it makes it. Yeah, it consumes all the buffs. So, yeah, that is Valkyrie. I love my Valkyrie. That's why she's my favorite skill. Mutant is quite an easy one for me. I do have a soft spot for both Magnetos. Bishop's growing on me. I do like my Havoc, but I mainly use him for defense, especially in Battlegrounds. For me, it's Archangel. If you can bleed the opponent and poison the opponent at the same time, Archangel is the best champion for that. Why? With his signature ability, you don't even need it that high, to be fair, because mine's 60 and it can just completely shuts down the opponent. Because with those neurotoxins, when you combine the bleed and the poison when he's awakened, he would, for every neurotoxin, it reduces the opponent's ability accuracy, which, so like, let's say Wolverine's regeneration, it will just not trigger. Let's say, I don't know, what's a good bleed? It's just good to be fair with Archangel, it does have really good damage as well, because it also I do believe it reverses healing a bit as well, so that's pretty good. But yeah, not much to say on Archangel. You can bleed if you can bleed the opponent. If you can poison the opponent, and you're able to get off heavy attacks. Archangel is the best bet. There's one big problem with Archangel though. It's his RNG. You can get. I've had matches where you get the best RNG in the world. You get the start of the match. You get a parry straight off the bat. You get some poison. Great. That's pretty much set you up. You throw a heavy attack. You get bleeds and they convert into neuros. Time of your life. If you struggle to get bleeds or poisons to trigger, you're going to be in that fight for a long time. That's the wrong problem with Archangel, is his RNG. But that pretty much but all of that negative doesn't outweigh the positives of this guy. He is, again, fantastic for people who bleed, for champions who bleed and can be poisoned. Next up is Cosmic. And for me, it's Cosmic Ghost Rider. He's my favourite Cosmic. What about Hercules? I don't have Hercules. I don't even have him as a 5-star, and I'm kind of glad of it because I just be Hercules in my way through this game if I had him, probably. And I probably have Eternity of Pain done by now as well. But back to CGR. He is a Cosmic Nuke. You get to that Special 2 without dexing, because that is one of the annoying things about Cosmic Ghost Rider. If you dex, that counts as the crit judgment or whatever it is from the Special 2. So you don't get the nice constant yellow numbers if you throw that Special 2 and you've already triggered it. But he's also got quite an underrated Special 3. If you get pushed to a Special 3, it's not the end of the world, because it is quite a big fury that he gets from it. But there's one big problem with CGR. And that is if you have something that completely destroys his just basic combo loop, he's not going to be as useful for like Mixmaster, where you have to... Because with CGR, you have to do like a basic light. You have to do a light ending, a 5-hit light ending combo to get a power gain, and you need a medium 5-hit combo to get the vigilance. And that can be quite annoying to get if you have something that's getting in the way of screwing around with your combos. It is very, very annoying. But I still love him. I had like a Cosmic Generic Gem, and I didn't really... No, I had 2 Cosmic Awakening Gems, and I thought I really want to awaken CGR because I could do with using him for the Battlegrounds Season 9 meta with the Unstoppable, because his Judgment, when with a signature ability, the Damnation degen pass debuff, that would lock out Unstoppable for that duration. So I thought I'll sink it in. I haven't pulled him yet from a crystal, but I'm expecting to at some point, because for all in this game, you use an Awakening Gem on a champion, you get them in the next couple of crystals. But apart from that, CGR, he's pretty good. Some decent utility. Obviously, he's bleed immune, incinerate immune, which makes sense because he's got a lava lamp on his head. And yeah, I do like CGR quite a bit. I also do want to give a shout out to Brideriser and Captain Marvel, because I use her all day in Alliance Quest. Moving on to tech, and it is going to be Nimrod. He is the Human Torch to the Mutant class, which basically, for Human Torch, Human Torch shreds Mystics. Human Torch and Nimrod shreds the mutants unless you're Bishop. But he does deal with Bishop quite well. But yeah, the ability to basically just to destroy an entire class in this game is probably why Nimrod's so good, and he's my favourite. But not just for mutants, he is pretty good else. He is pretty good against just like other classes. I've taken him against... What was a really good matchup I had the other day? I think it was a Mortal Abomination in Battlegrounds, like one of my last fights. When I was in Gladiator's Circuit. He can do stuff other than mutants, which I really, really like. So kind of like with Human Torch with his if the opponent does energy basic attacks, he's pretty good for those as well. So I like that he can deal with other characters as well, provided they're not shock immune, because that's special 2 with the Blitz protocol, which is the orange one, with those passive shocks, and you build up those armor ups. Big red numbers. It's beautiful. Chef's kiss. Beautiful. But he also deals with prowess opponents very well, and regen, because he basically switches them off and he turns them into shocks, which is a nice little bit of damage there. But yeah, Nimrod, he is, yeah, I would love to get this guy awakened, even though I'd argue he probably doesn't really need it. The only thing that trips me up is that I completely forget, because my 5-star Nimrod, who I used for the longest time, because his specials when you enter the Obliterate or the Eradicate protocol, whatever it's called, the purple one, he gets unblockable specials. So it has tripped me up a little bit with a 6-star, but it happens. Like, when you played a 5-star for so long, awakened, and you've got an unawakened 6-star, I'm sure I'm not the only one who's done that. Moving on to the final one is Mystic. Wow, I'm just realizing I don't have a lot of 6-star Mystics. But my favorite Mystic's Doctor Doom. Don't want to do that. I want to get his abilities up. I remember when Doctor Doom first came out, people didn't think he was that good. And then I think people woke up to the fact, it was like, oh shit, Doctor Doom's really, really good. His power control is phenomenal. His Doom cycle, when you get into that, it is, I'd argue, is one of the most satisfying things in the game. I absolutely love it. And also with some, if you get a good combination of nodes, you can really, really just like make some fights a joke. I think there's one in Eternity of Pain, because when with his signature ability, if the opponent isn't shocked when Doctor Doom nullifies a buff, they gain I think that's like 100% chance to gain a shock, and if you're close to the opponent with a shock and you do a heavy attack, you get a passive stun, so you can, what's called the Doom slap cycle, you can basically just slap the opponent days on end, because he keeps on nullifying the buffs, and because of that, the more shot you keep on getting, a shock turns into a stun passive, and this cycle just carries on. Yeah, he's a great defender as well. That special 2 has definitely tripped me up once or twice, because it's very annoying to evade. And if you get clipped by it, those incinerates, they're very, very powerful, especially if you got the Fury up as well. But he's a great power control champion. He is one of the horsemen of the Abyss of Legends. And he's aged very, very well. People still use Doctor Doom. I had a 5-star one for the longest time, and I finally got a 6-star. I pulled a Mystic Gem, I sunk it straight into him, and I haven't looked back. He is he my favourite champion in this game? He's very, very close to being my favourite champion in this game. But I'm going to end it there. If you enjoyed this video, me going over my favourite champs in the game, feel free. I also want to plug, in 3 weeks' time, nearly 3 weeks' time I should say, new 6-star feature crystal. I have a lot of shards to open, and that's going to be a video, and hopefully it's going to be a long one, so I'm going to plug that there. Stay tuned for 3 weeks' time, probably. And I shall see you in the next video. Liked this video if you liked it, disliked it if you didn't like it. If you like this video, excuse me, if you haven't and you liked it, check out some of my other content. And if you like my other content, if you're not subscribed, just hit the red button, please. I'd like 100 subs by the end of the year. That'd be very nice. I've got 95. I'd like 100 by the end of the year. It's definitely doable. See you in the next video. Goodbye.